welcome brothers and sisters to the Ummah Summit in conjunction of Global Community Builder Summit, the first global Muslim community virtual mega gathering introducing Muslim role models as a source of inspiration for the younger generation. Inshallah, throughout the 4 days program, we'll be gathering 32 experts, subject matters covering the areas of professionalism, knowledge, philanthropy, and lifestyle. It is co-organized by International Islamic University with Philandure, Murtadha International, and supported by LaunchGood and Muslim Understanding and Helping Special Education Needs United States. With us today, streaming live from the beautiful city, mashallah, I've checked on the speaker's Facebook, so just to give a little insight, and I've seen, mashallah, he's streaming live from the beautiful city of Gold Coast. With us today, we have brother Hussain Baba, to discuss the method of business sustainability via community integration. Welcome, brother Hussain. Welcome.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi barakatuhu. How are you?
Good, good.
I'm good, alhamdulillah.
How's the weather now in all Gold Coast?
MashaAllah, it's warm, blue sky. It's a lovely place. As you mentioned, Gold Coast is a beautiful coastal city and a perfect weather, alhamdulillah, and beautiful beaches. And before the COVID, we used to get a lot of Malaysian tourists coming over. They love coming to Gold Coast, yes.
Yeah. Usually they transit on the way to New Zealand. In fact, I was supposed to go to New Zealand just before, I mean, during the beginning of Corona itself. I booked my tickets for me and my parents, but unfortunately we couldn't visit Gold Coast and New Zealand. So inshallah, the way that we're going to do is going to be a casual conversation about the topic. We're going to dedicate and allocate around 40 minutes, and we're going to have a 20 minutes question and answers at the end of the session, inshallah. And for those who are watching, and I believe, just for your information, Brother Hussain, we have audience from all across the globe.
Right.
We have obviously from Southeast Asia, we have Australia, we have Europe, and also from America itself. So yeah, you're famous tonight, inshallah.
Oh, thank you, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
So inshallah, I think inshallah, this discussion that we're going to explore going to be benefits the Ummah, inshallah.
Yes.
So I'm going to let you to introduce yourself and what you do, because you know I spoke to the program directors, like just give me an insight about the speaker. Because this is the second session of the day, and the first day I said, oh, he's the all-rounders guy, and the people find and people go to any people in Gold Coast, because I believe that you're one of the active community leaders in your community. So inshallah, without further ado, the first one, maybe you can introduce a bit of yourself and then what you do.
Okay, alhamdulillah. As you know, my name is Hussain Baba. I've been in the Gold Coast for the last 20 years. Actually, I moved from Hong Kong. I was born and raised in Hong Kong. And well, I speak fluent Cantonese, the language spoken in Hong Kong. And alhamdulillah, the first time I arrived in Gold Coast, I loved this place. And then ever since, I've stayed here. As I mentioned to you, Gold Coast is very popular with the tourists. It's a tourism destination. And again, we also have international students. We have 3 fine universities here in the Gold Coast. And I remember meeting quite a number of Malaysian students who are enrolled in this university. And as you know, we have lovely weather. Now, Gold Coast, just to give a brief introduction about Gold Coast. Gold Coast, it's a coastal city in Queensland. It's about 1 hour's drive from Brisbane Airport. We have some flights from direct flight from KL, that's AirAsia, which flies to Gold Coast Airport. There are about almost 600,000 people in the Gold Coast, and there are about 10,000 Muslims working and living in the Gold Coast from over 70 different cultural backgrounds. Alhamdulillah. And for myself, I wear several hats. One of the years I'm involved in quite a number of different business, and I'm also the secretary of the Islamic Society of the Gold Coast, and I'm also very much active in the community services through my organization, which is Multicultural Social Network. And then and the other one is my hobby, which is the cooking show. I've been having a cooking show for last 2 years. It's a weekly cooking show, talk show, and also some religious show as well. So that's what I do in Gold Coast, alhamdulillah. And so basically, it's a nice place to stay with the family. People are very friendly here, and as I told you, they're very hospitable. And so I never thought of any part of Australia but Gold Coast, alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah.
Yes.
So what's the idea behind? I mean, you as a community leader, you are one of the trustees of the masjid, and
Yes.
you're actively involved in social community work.
Yes.
What was the idea? What's the philosophy? I mean, like, why the cooking show?
Okay, the cooking show, that's interesting. That's a good question, in fact. You see, about 2 years ago, somebody came over and said, look, I have a restaurant. I'm not doing very well. Can you, it came to the mosque, in fact, came to the mosque. He said, can you guys help us out? I said, not a problem. I'll come this weekend. I'll bring some friends with me, and I'll do a show and see how it goes from there. MashaAllah, since we broadcast the show, his business doubled, alhamdulillah. So it was a matter of awareness. So we decided, or myself, and I said, look, I always enjoy cooking. I learned from mother. I'm not a trained chef, but I'm a damn good chef.
Okay. What was your specialty then? What your specialty?
Oh, man, especially I'm very versatile. I mean, I don't restrict myself because, as I told you, my background is my parents came from Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka itself is a beautiful, they got wonderful, delicious types of food. It's a mixed culture. Sri Lanka is a multicultural country, and so then plus I learned Cantonese food, not Chinese, Cantonese food in Hong Kong. So I do a bit of everything. So alhamdulillah, the main intention was to start the cooking show is actually I wanted our men, especially the Muslim men, to learn how to cook. It's beautiful, it's enjoying. So I think the ladies must be really happy to hear that. And mashallah, it's successful. Even the imams start to cook after they watch my show. And also the other thing I realized, which I came to find out, like non-Muslim, the wider community, they also start to watch my shows. And they start to talk to me, and they knew I was from Islamic background. And because the show is called Baba's Halal Kitchen. So then they knew it's a Islamic thing. So they start communicating with me. So from food, it went to other aspect of Islam. They wanted to know about Islam. So then I started an Islamic show called 5 Minutes with Imam. That's every Tuesday. So that's working good. And eventually one led to another. The other show came about is Baba's Talk Show. So we discuss anything as long as halal. So we discuss all these issues. So alhamdulillah, it has been a good a communication between myself and the wider community. Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. So it's yeah, I can say, I mean, from that insight, a brief insight, I can say that you're a multi-talented person.
Yes.
But I'm dying to see what you can cook. I'm dying because I'm a big fan of Southeast Asian food as well, Pakistan, Sri Lankan, name it.
Yeah. Yes.
I literally travel just to the UK just to get real good Pakistani food during Ramadan. So
I love Malaysia. Yeah, I love coming to Malaysia. I mean, I usually come around 3-4 times a year just for the food.
Oh, okay, all right. So it looks like
I love coming there. Yes, all right. Yes.
So you came more here often. So
yes.
You also mentioned that you started the Muslim social MSN. What is MSN?
Yeah, MSN. Okay, yeah. MSN is which is the full name is Multicultural Social Network. What happened? You see, I've been in this line. I've been involved with the community services for more than 10 years, and I deal with the wider community as well as multicultural organizations. So I'm quite active in this field. Then I decided early this year to set up my own entity, private entity called Multicultural Social Network. And the whole reason was, as you may recall, we had a very severe bushfire somewhere in January of this year.
Yes, I heard.
And it was terrible. So then I decided to mobilized my contacts from various multicultural organizations, the government department, the police force. What I did, I used my umbrella, MSN umbrella, to invite them all to the masjid. I said, look here, we need to do something for our fellow brothers and sisters in Sydney and Melbourne. I mean, it's happened in New South Wales, in Victoria. So we all got together. Then we had I said, look, let's have a telethon. And that was the first time. And we raised some amount of money. And myself and some of my volunteers, we flew to Sydney, and then we bought all the stuffs. And from there, we drove all the way to the affected area. It took about 16 hours of driving. There was a place called Mogo, which was severely affected. And, you know, we took with us power generators, burners, the food stuff, quite a number of things. So they really appreciated that we came all the way from Gold Coast, you know, to support them. So that's what the whole idea was, to help our fellow mankind, our fellow brothers and sisters. And that's the whole concept about MSN. And after that, for the last 6 months, we have been quite busy looking after about 200 international students who are stranded in the Gold Coast due to COVID. As you know, many of these students are fairly young. They're late teens or early 20s. They left their families, they've come all the way here, and they were stranded. They was panicking at the beginning of the corona crisis or COVID-19. So, and strange, I still remember the day was 1st of April. I received a call from one of these educational institution, and the students from South America, and said, look, we have seen your cooking show. Can you help us with the food? I said, well, no problem. How many of you? I said, there are about 8 of us. I said, okay. So on the way, I took some sausages, about 100 sausages. I mean, it's all documented. If you visit my Facebook, Multicultural Social Network, you can see all the videos. So went there, and they really appreciated it, and it was so panicking. So what we told them is, don't worry about the food. We'll take care of the food. So for next 6 months, we provided them with food hampers. So every Thursday, we'll collect food from different organizations, and we'll pack them up and distribute to these students. And on Saturdays, I personally, with some volunteers, will cook hot meals. So that became part of my show too. So I would cook for about 150, 200 students every Saturday. And also, again, you can see in my shows how I cook. And the best episode was chicken biryani. People loved it.
That's my favorite.
There was almost 20,000 views. Yes. Yeah. So the whole idea is, so they're really appreciative. And as you know, the government, they didn't get the government support, you see. So it's all through private donations. So thankfully, we couldn't do on our own. So we had various organizations, Muslims and non-Muslim organizations, who assisted us, because we never collect any cash or money. We just asked them to give us foodstuff, hygiene products, clothing, all those stuff. So like we have 2 halal butchers in the Gold Coast. So both took turns to supply weekly meats to us, like beef, lamb, chicken. So they're all very kind enough to support the organization. So that's how the whole thing started, and it's still going on. But thank Allah, to our last month, most of them got their jobs back, and they're self-sufficient now. And now we are looking after some families who are in need.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. That's interesting. I mean,
yeah,
it's,
you see, yeah. So Muaz, the people ask me, why would you help? Because there are 200 students, 90% of them are non-Muslims.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
80 of them from South American countries, 70 from the Philippines, 50 from Indonesia, and in between. So I said, look here, my motto always been, no matter where you come from, what language you speak, or what your religious beliefs are, we are all brothers and sisters in humanity. So we should love, respect each other, and be compassionate to each other. That's been my slogan and motto from the beginning of MSN. So that's what we've been working on.
MashaAllah, I think that's a good initiative which shows the exemplary that how Muslims should be, instead of, you know, a lot of us, you know, we learn from the Deen, we learn from Islam, that,
yes,
you know, helping people around us. But at the end of the day, it's about what are the practical things that we actually do to engage the people around us. And some, you know, even some of us, I understand when I was in the UK, when people said, oh, helping other people, they said, helping other Muslims. But in the end, when you as a Muslim, you should actually engage with other non-Muslim as well.
That's right. That's right.
You should see the barrier. You should see
Yeah.
them as a fellow human beings. So
Yes.
I understand that you, apart from the social works, you founded the MSN, which is, mashallah, I've seen you engage with the Philippines community, you engage
Yes.
with the Australian communities, you engage more
Yes.
South American, Latin, whatever it is, too much to
Yeah.
mention. And you also a trustee, a community leader in your local mosque. At the same time, you have the Grupo Resources International, which is a trading company. It's you do halal tourism and among few others. How do you actually make the business sustainable via community integration? How do you make that? How do you balance? Are you using the community as a way to sustain your business, or sustaining the business for the benefit of the community? Or another third option is it's kind of like complementary, where each other support the business, support the community supports the business. How do you do that, and how you practice that in your business and also in your contribution to your local society as well?
Okay, that's a good question, Muaz, brother. So first of all, foremost, I want to thank Almighty Allah for opening up these doors, giving us the opportunity to be involved in different businesses and be a charitable person. I thank Almighty Allah for the gift. And yes, you see, what happened was predominantly I'm from a business family, and business has always been in our blood. So when there's an opportunity, we look into it. You see, the thing is, I don't see it's a big business or small business. As long it is halal, I'll go into it and try my best. Whether it works out or not, that's a different story. So I have tried various type of business. Many do not go through successfully, but alhamdulillah, I learned from it. And I believe you have to be resilient, persistent. Don't give up. When the opportunity come about, make yourself, at least you tried it. So that's what my beliefs are. So that's what I've been practicing. Now, when it came to my religious matter, yes, I'm the trustee of the Gold Coast Mosque, and I'm also the secretary. You see, there are about 10,000 Muslims or from 70 different backgrounds. It's not an easy job, but alhamdulillah, I have colleagues who works with me, the president, the treasurer, few other people. We all work together with the common aim is to, preserve a good Islamic identity. Alhamdulillah, in our masjid, we have about 3 conversion per week, or reversion per week. I think the highest in Australia for a masjid to conduct. Alhamdulillah, because people, especially people, they see us, they watch us. Our president Hussain Ghos's family has been there for the last 100 years. So they're quite well known. And then, so I keep my businesses and my masjid completely separate. It's not interconnected. But what happened is, people, when they see me, they automatically attach me with the masjid, because they've known me for most of the people knows me as the secretary of the Islamic Society. So even MSN is my private entity, but when I do the cooking, they always relate to masjid. Alhamdulillah, it's good because I do all my cooking in the masjid kitchen, because they have a licensed kitchen to cook for large quantities. So that's how. But other than that, my activities, I really I carefully select my activities, and I share my time accordingly. That's what I do. But I like to keep myself busy. I'm not like 9 to 5 person. I like working at different times of the hours, and also I like to meet people as well. So alhamdulillah, that's how I carry on for the last 20 years.
Sure. It's been, I assume it must have been really busy, balancing it out between business and community work. Since that you said that it's separate, but at the same time you're more known to be active. Like one of the directors mentioned to me, if anyone's in need, they will try to search for Brother Baba in case of anything. So yeah.
You see, I just want to add one more thing. Because you see what happened, we are living in a non-Muslim environment. Okay, so it's very important to show the wider public who are Muslims. Now, yesterday, the Gold Coast City Council, they came in, they did a video on me, interviewed about the Muslims. I don't, because somehow, you see, as you know, Muaz, Muslims are very charitable people, very charitable. Even in Australia, very charitable. Only thing they don't show it, as Islam says, you know, it's discreet. But as some ulama has come up and said, it's about time we need to show to the people that Muslims are doing charity. You know, so in the interview, I mentioned to them, as a Muslim, it's compulsory to give 2.5% of your wealth to the poor. So they were surprised; they never knew about this. So I used this medium to explain the correct information about Islam. As you would know, most of the information that the public hear are distorted by the media, very negative about Islam. So, Alhamdulillah, through our actions and through my shows, I try to portray all the correct information about Islam. So that has been a big, big benefit for us. And now people can see who the Muslims are.
Okay, thank you, mashallah, mashallah. It's a good initiative. I think it's a struggle. I think you have personally sacrificed a lot, and without that dedication from you. For those who are just joining us in the Ummah Summit, we have here Brother Baba Hussain from the beautiful Gold Coast. We're discussing about business sustainability via community integration, where Brother Baba has briefly introduce himself and what he does and what he founded. One of it notably is the Multicultural social network, where not the typical Facebook thing, you know, usually people relate social network is the Facebook, you know, no. This is the real thing on the ground, helping other cultures, helping the non-Muslim, helping the Muslims, where he recently helped a lot of people and groups of people, in fact, during the pandemic, where I believe that globally we were under lockdown. So continue to our discussion.
Yes.
With MSN and business, let's say,
yes,
how do you impact, you have that even though you said that MSN is different and business is different, but
yes,
notably you also have one ultimate objective, where I think the audience can't deny that you have that passion to engage the society, to engage
yes,
the non-Muslim and Muslims.
yes.
How do you
that
do
is,
this?
you see, yes, go on. Okay.
How do you do, just to continue, just how do you utilize this in its own way? One is NGO, one is the business. How do you do that?
Yeah. So, okay. This is how I do. My whole intention is the Muslims to integrate with the wider community. Okay. I don't mean assimilate. Repeat that, not assimilate, integrate. Sadly, many of our Muslim brothers and sisters in our community, they're very complacent. You know, they have a good job, they're a nice house, they're okay. All right. But what we repeatedly remind them is you have a duty to go and integrate with the wider community. So that is the main aim, what we try to do here. That's what I try to do this through MSN. And this has been recognized because the federal government, the state government MPs, they've recognized my services and given me appreciation award. So during this COVID-19, I've received almost 12 awards, appreciation award from various organizations and embassy. So that shows that people appreciate. When they see me, they don't only see me as Hussain Baba, they see me as a Muslim representing the Islamic community of the Gold Coast. So that's very important that I maintain the same level of appreciation in my business side as well. Now, I just want to mention this to people is like, if you want to be involved in any charitable organization, or actually we are a facilitator. What we do is we take stuff from donors and then we distribute to the people who need, right? So you don't need to have a big organization. An individual can do. The only thing you need is motivation and the proper coordination. Inshallah, you can do it, because people have good heart. They want to do something, but they're concerned how to do it. Okay, so yes, so what I would suggest is first start with your neighbors, no matter they're Muslim or not. Make sure, like Islam says, they are fed before you sleep. So this is the information I'm trying to disseminate to the wider community. So this is the Muslims' responsibility, is to make sure that you engage with all your neighbors. Now, again, as I mentioned, social awareness of businessmen and enterprises. And comes up a time where you have to consider of business opportunity for socio-economics. See, maybe not in Australia, in different countries, not everybody's well off. There are some underprivileged people. So we have to be concerned about them as well. So recently, I was fortunate enough to come across a group who are involved in hand sanitizer. I'm just trying to promote this business so that you can learn what we're doing. As you know, during COVID-19, personal hygiene has become the paramount importance. And we believe people are, regularly people start using hand sanitizer. And then even after COVID-19, inshallah, pass away, people still continue to get used to it, right? So the drawback of using the hand sanitizer here is there is a alcohol content, right? And toxic chemical. So alhamdulillah, I am collaborating with a group who have come up with this product where it's alcohol-free, non-toxic, and non-flammable, yet kills 99.9% of the bacteria. And it's FDA approved. So these are the business opportunity we are thinking of the community. I can just show you an example here. So this is what I'm talking about. It says, you can see clearly, it says here, the information. Can you see, Muaz?
Yeah, alcohol-free, non-toxic.
Yeah. So this is what, we're not selling the product, we're selling the machinery, the equipment. So any entrepreneurs in any part of the world who are interested to work on this project, always free to contact me. The whole idea is you can train the local people. It's not a very complaint, and let them, sustain themselves. Because if these businessmen can get involved, they make their money as well. But again, they can support the people, like in villages, in community. If they can set up these small mini cottage type of factory, it can help the people. And inshallah, we have come up with different products like this. This can be used. You see why I was very interested in this product, because there's no chemical in it. And the two main ingredients are water and salt. You get what I mean, Muaz?
So what do you mean salt? The salt,
salt, S-A-L-T, salt, the salt that we eat. Yeah, so those are the two, that's what I say, two main ingredients. Water. Now, if you use it in your hand, you feel like water, right? So, but it goes through a process called, that's when the machine comes. So when water and salt are mixed together, they go through a process called dual cell electrolysis. So that's what the machine does. And then it comes with a solution. So it's so safe, you can spray in your fruits and vegetable and extend its shelf life by 1 to 2 weeks. So it's a very versatile product. So as I'm under the category of entrepreneurship, so I wanted to promote this opportunity to any organization or individuals who would love to work on this project. They can contact us.
So how do you think this with the community integration that with all you do, how can you further? I mean, you have that business side, and we export that business side with the travel, with the health product and everything. How do you think this actually helps that community, that integration and sustaining that integration?
Well, each business has its respective pros and cons, and it works in different ways. Now, when I came to this product, this is the hand sanitizer, I met with the people who own the patent. By the way, it's a patented product. So, and I was very glad because then I can work. So we are collaborating with them. Now, to the question is, for example, let's say in Malaysia, if a businessman or business group could invest in this machinery and set up, because as you know, this product is now widely used throughout Malaysia, hand sanitizer, right? And then the ingredients are not only is easy to find, it's also very cheap. water, and salt. That's about it. So rather than paying high prices for chemicals, toxic chemicals, here you have a very everyday life thing. I mean, salt and water used every day. So that is what I'm saying. Now, these businessmen could set up this, it doesn't take too much of a space, right? They can set up in different parts of, I'm taking Malaysia as an example, different part of Malaysia, and then they give to a community, and then they can produce by themselves and they can distribute and sell in the market. So as you know, this product is definitely, people need it, hand sanitizer, and it is widely used. So that is a concept we are trying to introduce. So inshallah, hopefully, if anybody, any part of any businessman, industrialists are interested, they contact us, and then inshallah, they can make their money, and they also can allow others to make money as well.
Okay, before to the audience, before we proceed with the discussion, I just want you to know that we're going to have a question and answers at the end of the session where you can just throw any questions, inshallah. You can drop down in I think it's down there, the comment section. Just, you know, any question, we are free to answer your questions, inshallah. And don't forget to support our initiative, the Ummah Summit, by donating on our LaunchGood page, which is, I think, this side. Yeah, this side on the bottom right corner. So don't forget to support us, because this is an initiative to empower the Muslim youth and Muslim community all over the world. And alhamdulillah, today, like I mentioned before, for those who are just joining us, we have viewers and audiences from all over the world, from Australia, from the UK, from Europe, from America and America Latin, all across, even the Middle East itself. So Mr. Hussain, I would like to go back to your MSN.
Yes.
Multicultural Social Network.
Yes.
With that vision of integrating, not assimilating. I understand this is a big issue for those who are actually living in the West.
Yes.
Whether assimilating or you integrating. And that's the second question. The first one, whether you actually integrate or trying to join in the whole nation. So it's like a question like in the UK, are you a Malaysian before a British, or are you British before Malaysian? I thought, or are you Muslim first before British, something like that. So my question is, my question is it's like, when you are a minority and you're trying to promote social cohesion,
yes,
it must be a really challenging thing, because it's, you know, you're this small groups, and then you try and say, hey, look, we you know, we want to be accepted in, we want to join in, you have to integrate. So what do you think about this, and how do you do that?
All right. Well, MSN, the motto of MSN is coordinate and promote social harmony. That's number one. Okay, let's differentiate between integration, assimilation. Integration, what I mean is that we as a Muslim should move with wider community, irrespective of their religion or race. Okay, that's very, very important, especially if you have come from an overseas country. Okay, that doesn't mean you need to change your culture or your religion to integrate. They respect, I respect your religion, you respect my religion, right? What do you do? But we need to engage with each other, talk to each other. That's important. Now, assimilate is a large group of people, you know, absorb you into their culture. Now, as a Muslim, you can't drink, you can't have pork, or anything. So you can't, those aspects we have to remove. But Islam says, whatever good that you can find, take it. Whatever bad, just keep it aside. So that's what my emphasis is integrate. Integration is important because, and then it's very, very important. I remind my brothers and sisters, when you are in this country, in the country, Islam says we must respect the law of that country. Not only respect the law of the country, in case if it's Australia, I take example Australia, if a foreign invader attacks Australia, Muslims should be the first people to safeguard and protect Australia. Now that's already showed we are part and parcel of Australia. We are Muslim, that's what the religion teaches us, protect Australia. So this is, if we can clearly clarify, then it will make the whole thing better. So that is why, in order to clarify, Muslims have to integrate and explain what the religion says. Don't just listen to what the media, the distorted information from the media. Tell them the truth. Tell them through what Islam says. Respect the law of the land where you're living. Number one, move with the people. Be nice to people. Be nice to your neighbors. Be kind to your neighbor. That's what Islam says. So we simply have to follow the teachings of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, what is in Quran and the Hadith. Alhamdulillah, it will be a beautiful place, and that's what we lead in our Gold Coast. We lead it by example, and Alhamdulillah, it's working.
So, all right, that's good. So, coming back as well, I just want to go back, because I'm sorry if I go back to business
No
side.
problem, you're free. Okay, I already had my dinners.
That's good. Because there's two sides of you. There's business side, there's a social contribution side.
Yes.
What do you think, as Muslim entrepreneur?
Yes.
What are the role of business in a society, especially when it's in a, we understand that business, you have to give zakat of 2.5%, but the real essence, I mean, instead of aside, I wouldn't say instead, aside from that capitalist motivation, what do you think the role of business, and how can we do that to benefit the society, as not just local, but society as a whole, and how and what are the advice for budding entrepreneurs out there, especially those who would like to get involved in what they call it a social entrepreneurship, combining business and social work together, not just separate, but complementary. So what would you advise in that matters, in that aspect as well?
Yes. First, I would suggest, of course, please be within the parameter of Islamic teaching. All right, that's very important. Be honest. Discipline is very, very important. Be honest. And because, as you know, brother, Islam was spread through trade, not people say sword. No, Islam came to Malaysia, Islam came to Sri Lanka, Islam came to many of these places to trade. So these tradesmen had brought good akhlaq based on Islam. Honestly, they kept with their word. This is very important to display in the modern days. I'm talking to any businessman or any individuals who are, because you have to be honest what you do, and you have to keep your word. You have to keep your word. That's very, very important. So now that's how Islam, as I'm repeating again, is the Islam spread. You see, Brother Muaz, in Australia, 800 years ago, people from southern part of Indonesia came in, did business with the people of first kind, the Aborigines, right? Before the European settlers came 200 years ago, there is histories recorded by the government. 800 years ago, people from southern Malaysian peninsula, they came, they settled down, they married the local ladies, and many Aborigines also reverted to Islam. So business plays a very, very important role in promoting Islam as well, because they watch you, they see you how you're dealing. So this is very, keep your word. If you promise somebody, do it. If you can't, have a discussion, explain to him, look, I'm facing some difficulty, but never evade from your responsibility, and never, don't break your promises. Okay, that's what I would advise the young budding entrepreneurs. Work hard, be resilient, but always remember Allah is watching you, and be truthful and do an honest business. Inshallah, you'll be like, well, Allah have his reason. He'll make me prosperous. There's a reason for it. But as long you feel your conscience is clear, that you've been honest and doing a clean business, Alhamdulillah, it should be okay.
So, so we have one question from Brother Said Ismail, if I may. He wrote, Assalamu alaikum, Brother Hussain. Some quarters are saying to be able to contribute, donate, and etc., one needs to own capital or mal or assets of wealth in their objective, like making profits, rather having to contribute or donate as the objective, and profit is not the objective. What would be your opinion?
Well, if anybody get into business, of course, your main aim is to make money, make profit. So end of the day, you make profit for yourself, because if you're married, your wife and children to look after. As a man, you are the main breadwinner to look after the family. And if you have extra, there'll be extended family who might need your help. So look after them. And again, as Islam says, share part of your income with the underprivileged people. You see, maybe some share half of their wealth or profits. Some share 1/3 of their wealth. It's up to individuals. But again, we must have this concept of it's not me, or mine. It's Allah has blessed you with this money so that you can share with your fellow human being. So I would say if you're doing business, profit, of course, you need profit, but share the profit.
I still remember, when it was my student times, where the subject, the subject or the issue of becoming entrepreneur was, a taboo. Like, you don't become taboo. You don't become entrepreneurs, or like if you're doing it, if you're planning to become entrepreneurs, you're chasing dunya. I still remember when I had to make a choice whether to go to Islamic halaqah or the business thing, which I see that it shouldn't be like any lesser. It should be together. It's just a matter of balance. And now it's the idea of entrepreneurship becomes a focus, especially a Muslim country in South Asia, not specifically, and also the Muslim minority. How do you think how do you think that how do you think Muslims, when we becoming entrepreneurship, how do you think that we should navigate as entrepreneur in the idea between chasing the dunya, chasing profitability and religion? Is there any separation, or is it together? Or is there any different approaches altogether? What do you think about this?
Okay, brother, we can never escape the religion, because religion covers all facets of our livelihood. For example, Islam is not simply a religion. It's a business, it's a commerce, it's governance. So many things are involved. Islam is involved in every aspect of your life. So you can't escape from it. It's whether you want to follow it or not, or comply with it or not. So that's the issue you have to think about, because even politics, Islam talks about politics, business. So as an example for anyone who want to be an entrepreneur, right? Yes, you must keep in mind that whatever you do, it should be in conformity with Islam. All right. As a Muslim, as you know, whatever we do is recorded. We can't escape that, right? And on the judgment day, it will come out. So you can't hide from Almighty, the Creator. So therefore, I would suggest, as I mentioned earlier, when you start a business, have this concept that, yes, I need to make money for dunya. Allah have said, go ahead, you can make money, but also think about akhirah, the next world. We have to think both, okay? So first we have to make sure we made the halal money. Did we use halal means to make halal money? This is very, very important, all right? Once you have that, and again, Islam say, no wastage. Do not waste. Okay, you make good amount of profit. You can, if you feel more than enough for you, you can share with the people who are in need. People who are in need, and there are charitable like orphanages. There are, if somebody want to build masjid, donate. So what I'm trying to say is you can balance it, but always remember you have to follow the conformity of Islamic teaching. That's very, very important. So don't try to live away from Islam. The practices, Islamic practices, be together. You go together. You have to go together, inshallah.
All right. Thank you, Brother Hussain Baba. I think with that, we wrap up our session. Thank you, Brother Hussain Baba. MashaAllah.
You're welcome.
It's that engagement that you had, that you have initiative that you have drive from the beginning until now. May Allah compensate you and give you the highest Jannah, inshallah, and keep you to here in front of Allah. And inshallah, I wish you success as well in your businesses. Okay. And I do hope, and I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives us opportunity either to meet here in Malaysia, or preferably I'm going to Australia because I need a break as well
Inshallah.
in the sunny light of a Gold Coast.
Inshallah, I'd like to say a few words. First of all, I like to thank the organizer for Ummah Summit for organizing such a beautiful event. Even though it's the first time, we pray that it will be an yearly event so more people can be involved, inshallah, and then the Muslims and non-Muslims can have a better understanding of Islam. And of course, you're always welcome to visit Gold Coast. It's just an 8-hour flight from KL. Inshallah, after COVID slow down or get relaxed, you're always welcome to come and contact me, inshallah. And of course, I'm looking forward. I'm missing the Malaysian food. So inshallah,
one of the
looking forward.
Yeah.
So all salams to all the viewers who've been watching us, and Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So inshallah, brothers and sisters, we're going to take a little break before we continue our third session, inshallah, with our guest from Indonesia, which I will announce you later on today. Thank you again, Mr. Hussain Baba. Thank you again. And I think good evening. It's because I think you are
it's 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. in the evening. Yeah.
So inshallah, not much difference, but inshallah, have a good rest. Thank you.
Thank
brothers
you.
and sisters, stay with us. Come back. We're going to continue our third session for today within 15 to 20 minutes, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.